So I had a little fun outside today with the sidewalk chalk as promised. So here's my person, right? I drew my little person, and I encourage you to do the same if you've got sidewalk chalk. Get outside and have some fun and mess around with it. But here's my sidewalk chalk person, right? He's in the anatomical position. He's on his back, his arms are out to his side, not way out to the side, but evenly out to the side, and his palms, if he was actually at the person, would be facing forward, right? So we got our three planes. The first plane is at the top in red. That's the frontal plane, right? The frontal plane gives us the words, remember we said yesterday, anterior and ventral, which means front. And then it also gives us the words posterior or dorsal, which means back, right? And that one's the frontal or the coronal plane. You also have the black line there down the middle is your mid-sagittal plane, which gives you the words, let's see if we can see it, medial towards the middle is medial, and lateral, which would be towards the side, right? Towards the side is lateral, all right? Then you have your transverse plane, which is in blue on my little guy. Blue on our little guy. See the little dotted line down the middle? Those gives, so I labeled it on the side, transverse plane. That gives us the two words superior and inferior. Superior, I'll put the up arrow because it means above, and inferior, I put the below arrow because it means, the downward arrow because it means below, right? So those are our body planes. I also did some more of our terms we talked about yesterday. So in pink, I don't know if you can see it, but I did if you put the patient on their back, so supine, you're supine on your spine, meaning you're laying the patient down on their back. If you put the patient prone, P-R-O-N-E, that's on their stomach. So if they're laying stomach down, that's their stomach, right? I did not talk about this yesterday, but I wanted to, and I knew I forgot something. But there's different cavities for the eyes, nose, and mouth, right? If you look in your notes, eyes is orbital, right? So eyes is orbital. Nose is nasal, that's easy. And mouth is weird, mouth is buccal, B-U-C-C-A-L, right? So I didn't talk about those yesterday, but they're in the notes and I would like you to know them. So eyes is orbital cavity, nose is your nasal cavity, and mouth is your buccal cavity. Quadrants up here, remember we talked about body quadrants. Quad of course means four, so if you put a cross like that, you got your right upper quadrant, your right lower quadrant, your left upper quadrant, and your left lower quadrant. Remember that's like on your stomach, right? So if they're gonna operate on the kidneys or something like that, there's different body parts or in different quadrants. So your stomach is in one quadrant, your intestines in another, and things like that. So that's why the quadrants are important. What else did I do, guys? Let's see. I did in this pretty blue over here. I liked this one. I did cranial. Cranial means towards the head, right? Caudal. Caudal means towards the tail or towards your rear end, right? And purple, I did deep means away, like away from the surface of the skin, like your organs. And then superficial, if you can see it, is towards the surface of the skin, like your veins, your ribs, all that's towards your surface of your skin, which would be superficial. I think that's all of it. Let me see if I can look so you can see like a big shot. It took me a minute, but it was pretty fun. So there you go.